Hi everyone, welcome to another installment of our 12 Days of Christmas series. My name is Adrian, and today we're going to be reading through 1 Peter chapter 2. So why don't we dive straight into it? It says this: "So put away all malice and all deceit and hypocrisy and envy and all slander. like newborn infants, long for the pure spiritual milk, that by it you may grow up into salvation, if indeed you have tasted that the Lord is good. As you come to him, a living stone, rejected by men, but in the sight of God, chosen and precious, you yourselves, like living stones, are being built up as a spiritual house, to be a holy priesthood, to offer spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. As I was reading this, and as I was preparing for this message, there was two things that I wanted to highlight from these verses. And the first thing is in verse 2. And it says, like newborn infants, long for the pure spiritual milk. The Apostle Peter here, he's using a metaphor or an analogy. Just as a newborn child or a newborn baby requires breast milk in order to grow, to develop, to mature, as believers or as we get older, we need a pure spiritual milk in order to grow, to develop, to mature. So what is this pure spiritual milk that the Apostle Peter is talking about? Well, if we translate the Bible from Greek to English, the word for spiritual here, it's logikos. It means the word. So when the Apostle Peter says, long for the pure spiritual milk, what he's saying is, long for the word. And the word that he's talking about is this. It's the Bible. It's the word of God. Okay, so we need to long for this. The second thing that I highlighted was in verse 4, it says, as you come to him. And this phrase, it indicates a daily personal relationship with Jesus Christ. So it means we have to constantly be coming back to him. Okay? I wanted to share one story, and it's this. If you didn't know, I have an older sister. Her name's Allison. And when we were growing up, we were sort of known for two different things. My sister, she loved fashion, she loved baking, she loved, math, crunching the numbers. She's an accountant. For me, I always loved playing sports growing up. And so I loved playing soccer, footy, Oztag, touch footy, swimming, playing cricket. That's what I loved doing, and that's what I love to do in my spare time. And so, last year, as the lockdowns were ending and the restrictions were starting to ease up, my sister, she sent me a text message and she was like, hey bro, do you want to go for a 5K run? And I remember reading it and I was like, what? I scoffed. Like, you want to go for a run? Really? And so, I said yes, put on my running cap, we put on our, fancy running shoes, we started the clock and we started running. And as we started running, we started side by side, but slowly my sister, she started to run behind me. She started drafting behind me. And, when she did that, I was like, I'm gonna push the pace, or I'm gonna run as fast as I can. And so for the first 200 meters of that run, I'm not gonna lie, I thought I absolutely killed it. We were running at this unbelievable pace, and I was certain that my sister would be nowhere near behind me. And as I peered over my shoulder, I realized she was still there. She was still running and drafting behind me. But we got to that 200 meter mark, and I had this thought in my head, and I was like, is this sustainable? Will I be able to do this for the rest of the run? Who knows? So we keep on running, and we get to about, I'd say, the 500 meter mark, and my heart's racing, my head is throbbing, I'm seeing stars. I'm like, whoa, this pace that I've set, it was way too fast. It was unsustainable. And in that moment, as I was coming to the realization that I had messed up big, my sister comes out from behind, she overtakes me, and she runs off into the distance, and I don't think I saw her for the rest of that run. I struggled. I managed to finish the 5K run, and at the end of it, I was just laying on the floor, just looking at the sky, like, how did I get here? But I was just debriefing with my sister, and she was telling me that during COVID, she was running, she was training, she was working hard in order to develop her aerobic capacity, in order to build her physical fitness in running. And I wanted to take that principle, right? Or I want to look, we can learn something from that principle. And it's this: physical fitness, it requires hard work, dedication, it requires discipline. It doesn't matter what your background is, you got to work hard for it. If we take that concept and we apply it to spiritual fitness, well, it requires hard work, dedication, discipline. It doesn't matter what your background is in reading the Word. You could be a pastor, a connect leader, you could be someone who went to Bible college, an academic of some sort. It doesn't matter what your background is, because if you're not reading the Word every single day, well, then you're not going to be spiritually fit. As Peter says, we need to long for it. Okay? And so my encouragement for everyone who's watching this is this: in 2023, why don't we make it our goal to read the whole Bible? Okay? Well, how do we do that? What are some practical tips in order to read the Bible every day? The first one is this. The church, we have this great resource. It's called a meal journal, MEAL. And it's our principle on how to do your daily devotions. This resource, it has a space for where you can write your notes, where you can write what you're learning as you read the Word of God. And at the very end, they have this section. Let me turn to it for you. It's a meal planner, and it shows you what verses you can read for each day, and which sections of the Bible you can read and then write notes on. That's the first practical tip. The second one is this. You may not use this. There may be other Bible plans that you can read or that you can use, such as the YouVersion Bible app. They have some great Bible reading plans. My personal favorites come from the BibleStudyTools.com website. Some of their Bible reading plans have helped me be consistent, to stay disciplined in reading the Word. So I encourage you guys to check those out as well. And the third one I would say is find a partner, or find someone you can be accountable with in reading your Word. It can be a hard thing to do by yourself, but if we do it together, it makes it easier. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, or consider subscribing to our YouTube channel so you can be notified when we upload next. Thank you all. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Well, thank you, Adrian, for that message on growing in commitment. And I pray that you guys have enjoyed today's service. But hey, tomorrow we are celebrating as a church down here at CDJ. Don't forget, it's not going to be in your TV. It's going to be in church celebrating Christmas. Plan your giving. That's our topic for tomorrow. And that's from Papa Ding.